Guys, let's just jump right into it. Look, I have to do some critiquing here of some of the articles. For example, well, I'd love to find one, but let me show you this. Let's just jump into it, and we'll do critiquing of it. And this is right now where it's coming out, which I've already stated in one of my previous videos where I said, Denny Pate, quote, "It would give a false sense of security," end quote, and I wrote shoring up bridge. I posted this back in August 16, 2018, if you guys want to look at that video. And now it's coming out that I said this way back then, and now it's being released in court documents that's now being said. According to the minutes from a 2-hour meeting, reportedly said the cracks were not a safety issue, that it was safe to let traffic flow under the bridge, and that no shoring was needed under the bridge during repairs. They're paraphrasing it. I used a quote. I'm quoting. How's that? But FIG has disputed the accuracy of the minutes and provided its own version to the National Transportation Safety Board, which is investigating the incident. Major points of contention include who said it was safe for traffic to flow during retensioning of the truss, and whether the repair design had been subject to a peer review. All right, so this is wild, because remember, nobody can supersede Denny Pate if he said no to it, because once you do that, it's no longer Denny Pate. He's no longer the head engineer anymore. It becomes somebody else's job. So I don't know about this ambiguous crap they're talking about here. It's Denny Pate's engineering record. He's no longer the engineer on record. If somebody else says, go ahead. It's only a few people there, right? It would be FIU, and that would be the representative by the BA, the guy that did the reports. All right, I'm gonna come back to that because my brain just froze up on that. But it would be the FIU's representative. It would be FIU. It would be Florida Department of Transportation. None of those would tell them, go ahead and start the repair work, which would be what's going on, dealing with cracks. Only Denny Pate could say, no, I'm totally still in charge of this project. I say it's good to go. It's a solid deal. Let's go for it. He's the only one to convince the others that it was a solid deal. In fact, they said he presented a PowerPoint in this thing. A PowerPoint was presented to show what was going on. This recording is interesting. It's not there. If you try to find a recording and this is a FDOT recording. So that one I can't get hold of. But you know me, I'm going to work on it. All right, let's jump back to this. According to the minutes from a 2-hour meeting, reportedly said cracks were not a safety issue. All right, moving over here. FIG gave a PowerPoint presentation and assured the others present that its calculations confirmed, quote, there is not any concern with the safety of the span suspended over the road, end quote. According to meeting minutes cited in the court pleadings filed in response to FIG's efforts to keep confidential drafts of its take of what was said at the meetings. So it wants to keep its versions of it. FIG wants to keep it private. Hey, the federal government's already got their version of it. They already documented it. So I'm not saying that they're correct, but they have the version of the meeting already documented and the report. Okay. So they have a documented report. I did not want to tell you the exact source. I think I might have in one of the videos that I did, and then I deleted it for you guys, but I'm going to let that ride for a minute. But it's there. When the issue of whether temporary shoring should be brought in to reinforce the bridge during repair efforts, FIG said it was not necessary. Well, so was not necessary, court records state. I said that, you know, that's totally a different paraphrase from what I gave you guys. My quote says this. It would give a false sense of security. So I don't know why that now we've downplayed it to this wording when clearly, I'm telling you, the federal government says this word right here, that they have documents to say it would give a false sense of security. So now this downplaying of words is not shown in any of these articles and disputes. So this is some weird stuff going on here that they're allowing the wording to change to that degree. FIG has disputed the accuracy of the minutes and provided its own version of the national right. So if we scroll down here, so that's my critique of this article, saying Where are they getting that from? According to the voicemail record, well, we already dealt with that. The NTSB still has not issued its final determination as to the cause of the collapse, but a preliminary report found that design errors likely played a role. Okay, so that means this is nothing. You guys ever heard of a 50-50? 50-50 means you got a chance to go either way. You have no clue. Doctor ever tells you that you got a 50% chance to die or 50% chance to win. That means they have no clue. They didn't move 1% one direction the other way. That means it's a non-answer. It means I don't know. So this also means the same thing. It has not issued its final determination of the cause of the collapse. All right. But a preliminary report found that the design error is likely. When you say likely, that's taking away, your conclusive statement. I'm telling you, I hold strong to this. This is true data that I had access to, and I'm sure we can still subpoena it. So I'm not worried about slander. So that's true data, what I gave you here. This false sense of security, right? Give me a minute. Right here. Quote, it would give a false sense of security, end quote, shoring up the bridge. This is true data. This could be, any of these guys could attempt to sue me. Nothing's going to come of it besides a subpoena, and it will show that document. Now, if the government wrote that in the document falsely, well, then it's going to show the document that the government can't even record anything correctly, and that throws the character of the government out, not me. FIU bridge collapse 1 year later. So we scroll down here again. This is multiple articles. Great. I apologize for that. I thought it was going to load the article. I did not want to see that. So that's your update, is that it's finally coming out about this, what I told you guys about back in August, about it would give a false sense of security, about shoring up. So shoring up is now being brought to your attention. And Denny Pate is saying that he wants to argue that he basically, I don't know, he's not clearly saying he didn't say that. The engineers of Denny Pate with FIG engineers said that the cracking was not a safety concern, according to a recording and its transcript of the call released by the Florida Department of Transportation. Oh, that's the audio recording. Right. Yeah, I read some of these articles. Sometimes my brain gets a little foggy, but on that one, I was getting excited thinking we had a different audio. That's the one that says it's not a concern. You guys heard that article. All right. Safety issues also had, in reality, what happened, I had to transfer all this data from my cell phone to the computer to do this recording, and this one just popped up, and I thought it was exciting. I got too excited. There's no damn recording. I mean, you guys heard the recording. All right. All right, we know about that. The latest findings of the NTSB says that those cracks, no, you know what? That's kind of irrelevant. That's really, you heard the guy saying that, he doesn't see it as an issue. Well, the latest findings of the NTSB says that these cracks were earlier warning signs of errors made in the design of the northernmost nodal region of the span where two truss members were connected to the deck. Well, that's interesting. Where two truss members were connected to the bridge deck. Well, that's a quote. One's an upright and one's a truss member. So two truss members would be more inbound, if you will. So I don't know how they name their nodals, but so that would be a combination of a truss member and an upright. So yeah, or portal upright. I don't know how that bridge is actually how you would. That's how it would look like. Anyway, we're quoting from the NTSB here, but we know they don't know. Apparently, don't know jack about bridges. The design errors resulted in overestimation of the capacity resistance. Oh, this triggered me, the way they worded that. And an apparent underestimation of the demand load on that section. The design review that led to and it's apparent, which is a failing, overestimation. This is all vagueness stuff. The design review that led to these findings was conducted by the Federal Highway Administration's office. We know about that one. I showed you guys that one. This is all the government stuff. Remember, the government's going to protect government. You guys ever got to go to court, remember you're going before a state judge or a federal judge or a city judge. You're going to the same people that are prosecuting you for fairness. You're going to their judge who gets paid by them. So it's impossible to get a fair judgment in that case. That's why in all my contracts I'll always use arbitration. You got a better chance of saying arbitration than go to any Because if any sweat in the game for the judge or the state, they got to protect the state. That's their interest, or they're going to lose their own job. So this is just ridiculous. This right here. This is protecting we already know where that's going to go. Coming over here. MCM is, filed for the bankruptcy. We know that. Watch I show you Linda Fig, and I'll bail on this one. Hopefully I'll find it right here. Remember, I transferred this from my cell phone to this desktop. But not directly. I just searched again. Give me a moment. All right, I'm going to pause the video, and sorry for not editing. I've got to pause this video, and I'm going to find that article, and I'm going to add it to it, because you guys want to see Linda Fig, what she's reportedly said. Give me a minute to work this out. I always forget which one to press, and it's that one.